If you ever get to the States, give me a call.
Oh, thank you very much. Breakfast ready, Gordon?
We've a problem.
What?
The beach. Ben's Beach.
What's the problem?
The problem is it really is Ben's Beach. He owns the shoreline, 4 miles of it from the grass down to the low tide mark. I found it in the parish records when I was checking out some title deeds.
Can he prove it?
We can't steal the beach from him, Victor. It's his.
You'll have to buy it from him.
Donald Trump has arrived in Scotland to talk about his plans for what he claims will be the world's greatest golf course.
Well, Donald Trump swept into the northeast on his usual wave of publicity. His private jet touched down at Aberdeen Airport just after 10 o'clock this morning.
Earlier, it emerged protesters have bought small plots of land in a bid to block the controversial development.
Michael Forbes is, of course, the farmer who refuses to sell to Trump.
It's my home. I've stayed here for 43 years now. And he won't put murder in.
Mr. Trump said the development could still go ahead without the farmer's land.
If we build a $300 or $400 million hotel, I don't think you want the windows looking down into a slum.
Well, Donald Trump will be here for 2 days. He says he'll be examining every square foot to make sure his final designs are perfect.
I usually get up about 7 and let the cat out. And in this dark mornings, I just nip back to bed again and turn on the TV and lie till about, say, 7:30, get ready, start my porridge. Yes, that's for the hens. Sometimes I keep out, if I'm going to have something with tatties, I keep out a couple for myself. They're very good tatties. Just nearly there. 24 I used to count, and the fox just nipped off the lot.
Says I want to ask a question with regard to.
It's all talking on that station, and the fox thinks there's people about because they don't like people. They're just lovely. They're old ladies. And an egg.
How many do you get a day?
Oh, well, sometimes 2, sometimes 1, sometimes none.
Sure you know, guys, be mindful of yourselves. Don't rush forward like idiots. You get all the shots you want. Mr. Trump will spend time with you afterwards as well. If you spread out, guys, you'll get the best view. Give my pipers a bit of space.
They've divided the marquee into 2 sections. Posh section next door with, like, you know, fancy lace tablecloths and what have you, and we're getting coffee and cake.
Hello, everybody.
Better believe it. Good. And everyone knows Martin Hawtrey. He's the architect of the site. How are you? Nice to see you. good. Scottish, very, I like that. Well,
One of the papers had headlines: Trump met by protesters. 2 people in the dog.
the dog was the one I was afraid of. The dog looked vicious.
The dog looked intelligent.
Exactly. See you. I'll see you guys.
I was born on the farm that I worked on during the war. But I wasn't brought up on that farm because my father was a lorry driver. Well, he was actually a ploughman in his younger day. Here's a ploughing match. Now, my father did ploughing. That's my father. He was a prize plougher, my father. He has lots of cups and medals. We used to go and watch them. I know my father's style of ploughing. See how he is, look. See, he's sort of bent. This is where we lived. That's the shop at White Cairns, which is no more, and there's the Daniels buses. Eyes are not as good as they used to be. But when I was here first, it was March we saw them. And then last year it was February. That's two there that used to come every year. And we knew it was the same two because of his long neck. They're beautiful bats.
Yeah, that was the first.
I'm shaking hands with people. She should work. Miss Scotland. Remember? So you won't be going to the Miss Universe pageant, and who's going? Who's going? How do you rate her?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You think she's good?
Yeah.
Does she have your grades?
Oh, I don't know. I'd need to.
Yeah. Are you from this area? That's not so bad.
That's close enough.
Okay.
Close enough.
This is beautiful.
Thank you.
She may want to work for sales and stuff. Okay, you dealing?
Yeah.
There's so many familiar faces from the press who've really been amazing supporters of the project.
This is really a circle of our friends. This was really a celebration of our friends, a celebration of people that supported us.
It was spectacular for me yesterday to be able to walk the final version of the course with my father, to say, you know, this is now what we're doing. This is what will be etched into this land forever.
As Lord Provost of the city, yesterday it was my pleasure to welcome these two gentlemen. We'll look at the plans that you've got to produce this absolutely outstanding golf course. The excitement in this is absolutely outstandingly wonderful.
Any questions, gentlemen?
Very nice question.
Mr. Trump, what would you say to the many local residents here who feel that you've run roughshod over planning legislation and environmental issues simply because you've got lots of money?
It's a very interesting question because honestly, this is a very popular project. We've had great support from the council and great support from the political leaders. We've saved the dunes, and from an environmental standpoint, it's a much better situation than it was before we bought the site.
You can sometimes see the deer, you know, coming out of these trees across there. They jump the fence, no problem. They're so beautiful. I know they're wild, but they're not too scared. You know, they just seem to put up with us.
You want me to face forward? Yeah. Right. Watch this.
What was the first thing he said to you?
Give this man a job, he says. Give this man a job, and I got a job. And then he kept saying it 3 times. He said it. Give this man a job. I said, I've got a bloody job. I want a job.
Keep this short, ladies and gentlemen. The rain's coming.
Give me an umbrella. Just calling Mr. Forbes and his property names. How does that help your trying?
No,
to
I'm
put
just
it forth?
see. I happen to be a very truthful person. His property is terribly maintained. It's slum-like. It's disgusting. He's got stuff thrown all over the place. He lives like a pig, and I did say that. And I'm an honest guy, and I speak honestly, and I think that's why some people like me and some people probably don't like me. But I think he'd do himself a great service if he fixed up his property. And I'm not talking money. It's not a question of money. It's a question of a little manual labor.
Kirk says it did a deal twice.
Oh, that's right there. See that?
I'm saying, what a load of friggin' logs. I said, well, it explains everything on his shed. I said, just go and look at that. I said, he's nothing but a compulsive liar. That's what I said.
Trump, have you had a message for Michael Ford this afternoon?
No,
what would it be?
I have no message. I don't speak.
You quite enjoy it and feel that in the end your sort of power and money will win out.
No, I don't. I don't view it as power money. I think that principle will win out, but my people made deals with him on 2 occasions. My representatives have absolutely made 2 deals that he broke. So he knows that. His people know that, whoever his people may be.
You'll see in the P&J if you get that today. His face is right on the bloody front page.
Why do you need us for us to tell?
Oh, because folk, negative folk looking out the window seeing a tap.
Oh, I see.
That's his excuse now.
Oh, well. Nobody's complained about it up to now.
He passed us this morning and just flew on in his top of the range Range Rover with blacked out windows. Oh, I miss getting a super photo of him the first time he arrived here. The wind got him on the escarpment. And I thought the press would have loved that. Could have sold that picture for a fortune. His hair was sticking out like that. You know, the whole lacquered thing had come off where it's all wound round and was out to a point. Damn it.
This is my husband's hut aboard this boat. He was chief petty officer on deck. It's a bit dusty.
There he is, look, under the red umbrella. Where he is just now, which is just looking slightly to the right, is where he was hoping to put in the clubhouse. And where he was going to put it in, it tends to flood because the water all runs down off the land into there. So have difficulty putting a clubhouse there unless it's on stilts.
My father, he sang songs that you never hear of today. And he used to sing a song, "You'll never miss the water till the well runs dry," which is a very true saying, isn't it?
It really shouldn't matter if the applicant is Mother Teresa of Calcutta and she wants to carry out the development in order to raise money to help the sick, or indeed even if it's Donald Trump. The permission isn't to the person, it's to the land.
Too much money makes your head go funny. It's a 21st century Highland clearing.
And I'd now like to welcome a representative from the Green Party to the stage, local councillor Martin Ford.
Thank you very much. For those of you who don't know, in Aberdeenshire we have a council who gives Donald Trump everything he asks for and can't make up their minds whether to throw people out of their own homes to help him. Firstly, I think it's important for people not from the northeast of Scotland to have some sense of the build-up. In 2006, I think that was the first official state visit by Mr. Trump to Scotland.
His plan is for the Many Estate at Balmedy near Aberdeen. On it, he will create 2 golf courses, a 450-bedroom hotel and housing, as well as holiday apartments and golf villas, an investment of £1 billion.
Multi-million-pound golf resort in Aberdeenshire is rejected. The chairman of a committee of Aberdeenshire councillors used his casting vote after a 3-hour meeting was deadlocked.
All the parties had committed themselves to sustainable development, and you could apply the tests of sustainable development to the Trump proposal, and it failed them. It failed them in spades.
The Trump organisation has confirmed it will now pull out of Scotland after bitter rejection at Balmedy. Well,
we are very disappointed. Ultimately, we can go and develop the project somewhere else. We'll be fine. I think it's the people of Aberdeen and the Shire that were really let down by their council today.
It was predicated on long-distance tourism. It was predicated on people flying across the Atlantic to play a few games of golf and flying back across the Atlantic. It was predicated on utilising an irreplaceable and diminishing resource of effectively natural habitat.
Mr. Trump also reiterated his concern about a proposal to build an offshore wind farm close to his site.
When I look out onto the ocean from the 18th hole of Trump International Golf Links, to be honest with you, I want to see the ocean. I don't want to see windmills.
Good evening. There's renewed hope tonight that American tycoon Donald Trump's plans for a £1 billion golf development in Aberdeenshire will go ahead. In a dramatic twist, the Scottish Government have called in the controversial planning application, taking it out of Aberdeenshire Council's hands.
Never before has an application been called in this manner.
By calling in an application that had already been refused, it's inescapable that the government has in some way expressed a view that it does not want the application refused.
Today, almost 2 years on from when he first announced his proposals, the Scottish Government have given the tycoon the green light.
Well, I think the message would be, I'm going to build for the people of Scotland the greatest golf course anywhere in the world. There'll be nothing like it, and it's going to be done environmentally perfect.
The Many Estate is in the constituency of First Minister Alex Salmond.
The balance of opinion among people in the northeast of Scotland, among my constituents, is very strongly in favour. And that's because we can see the social and economic benefits. I mean, 6,000 jobs across Scotland, 1,400 local and permanent jobs here in the northeast of Scotland. And that's a very powerful argument. I think that outweighs the environmental concerns.
There's not many people looking to invest £1 billion in this local economy. It's right in keeping with our development strategy that inward-bound tourism is key for the city and shire. That's what we're here to support, and in partnership with Mr. Trump, I believe we can do that together.
I thought it was the biggest thing that had happened in the northeast since oil was discovered.
No, no, CPO! You will be the next to go! No, no!
Early in 2009, Mr. Trump's legal people approached the council with suggestions as to how they might justify to councillors the use of compulsory purchase.
The Trump organisation have asked the council to consider using CPOs, and councillors decided it was inappropriate to reject the use of compulsory purchase orders without a full report.
All it does is leaves a big cloud over our heads. That's all it does.
Disappointment mixed with fury, to be quite honest. This is an action of people with no conscience and no willpower.
This is typical of the sort of thing that we get.
Oh, it's very typical. It's very typical for councillors like yourself to defer decisions that are critical to people's livelihoods. And you failed. You failed.
I'm thrilled with the outcome. They continue to diminish the importance and nonsensical motions put forth by Mr. Ford, and hopefully this will be the last few minutes of his political career, because I think he's blown virtually everything he's ever touched.
Since that time, the residents at Many, in their own homes, have been living with the threat of the possibility that they would be forced to leave them against their will.
Just banging the window. Jesus, how do you do business with someone who doesn't have a door?
I look at his place and it's a pigsty. Do I regret that? No, I don't regret it. It's a pigsty.
Turns out, actually, we've got a collection of remarkable, principled people who have recognised what's right and what's wrong and have said they're not standing for wrong.
Ben, what we wanted to ask you, have you ever thought about moving?
No. You see, the thing is, I'm still working the place myself. It's my living.
All my relations have been salmon fishing all their lives. My great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father, all my uncles, they're all salmon fishers. And it's just in the blood, you know, you just have to do it. I was 14 and a half. I went out to fish with my uncle when I left school. I worked with him for a few years, then I went trawling. Everybody knew everybody, you know, all the salmon fishers knew everybody. It's great. It was cotton nets back then. They rotted quick, so they make a lot of nets. These new ones, they're made of plastic, polythene. They'll last a lot longer and they're lighter, you know. So you needed a full crew to work the old nets, you know. This boat this size here, you'd have needed probably six men to pull one of these nets up. But now you can do it with two. You know. We used to go to money mackerel off Tarbert Hill here, like, still plenty of lobsters on the go, is there?
Just come on. 26 yesterday, I was still in that there, it's just the start.
Well, still am fishing. I haven't done it for the last couple of years because I've been bothered with my back, but I'll get going again next year. To tow my boat onto the beach. It's not like here you come out of a harbour, I have to launch it off the beach. And well, I've nets on the beach, stake nets, you know, and I'll be towing anchors through his golf course as well, because that's how we do it. We just tow the anchors, we don't lift them onto trailers and things. I'm looking forward to it.
A lot of local people don't see Michael as a particular problem. They see him as someone who's standing up for what is rightfully his. And they don't believe all the claptrap that Trump's PR machine put out about a hard-nosed farmer. You know, he's standing up for what's his. Why shouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? You know. This is actually zoned for the housing. On the crest of that hill, between David Milne's property there, is going to be the 8-storey blocks of timeshare apartments.
My house, originally a Coast Guard station, built in 1954, but there's been a station here since about 1860 something. There's a row of 5 cottages here to my right. They are Coast Guard cottages. The occupants were originally workers in the Coast Guard. So if when you look at the drawings, you see something that looks like a crashed space shuttle, that's the hotel. And where my home is meant to be a car park. The buildings that you see just a little further over there, the other side of the green field, that's Mike Forbes' place, again under threat of compulsory purchase. Down below here, this white building, that's the home of the Monroe family, again under compulsory purchase threat.
No compulsory purchase, no more Trump lies on the top of the postcard. The house down the road to the dunes, where once you could roam free. I've been here a long time, near on 3 decades. That's a long time. Most of my adult life's been spent in this house. Brought my family up here. Finlay was born here. Here he is. Here's bed. Hi, beds. And then this man, this foreigner comes in, because he's got a few pounds, they reckon, in his pocket, a bit of a name, and we're just cast aside, we're in the way. I think it's an awful way to treat people. That was just when we moved here. I was expecting Finlay. He was, as I say, born here. So as you can see, the difference from a few years, this is taken in excess of 25 years ago. Me with the children and my mother paddling. Oh, it was just glorious. You realise what you've got and what's going to be taken away.
Are you going to Cruden Bay? Maybe I should take a cruise up in the old Zodi. Well, I just left art college in 1974. And I moved to London, and it's where I continued my relationship with, at that time, John Mellor, who most people know as Joe Strummer. Having extricated myself from the music industry, I chanced to meet Kim, my partner. It must have been worse yesterday because the winds were terrific yesterday. It's a bit rough today, isn't it? So you're taking it out of the water then? I used to come up here with my grandmother and my aunt and my cousins on the bus from Aberdeen in the mid-50s with their bandy catchers and play commandos on those dunes. It was a fantastic open space within reach of ordinary people from Aberdeen. And the only wild stretch has been swallowed up by this development. Now that is primarily which drives me to say it shouldn't happen.
It's a real mosaic of habitats. You've got everything from open sand to shrubs to trees to wetlands. A greener Scotland is effectively a myth if something like this is allowed to happen. And lots of areas are either destroyed, moved around, sanitised, disturbed, and there'll be a few bits left scattered around as a kind of mitigation of this development. This very damaging two-golf course development, the whole package is wrong.
On.
Welcome to our little world, McIntyre. Oh, this is a bay in a million. And this harbour here's a natural for blasting in the underground tanks.
Incredibly steep, isn't it? These sorts of models give us vital clues to understand the interaction of waves on beaches, the interaction of the beach and the upper beach, and then the availability of sand to be blown into sand dune systems, such as we've got on the Aberdeenshire coast. In many, what we've got is a very, very clear model of sand moving in a northerly direction, crystal clear. That is very interesting from the point of view of science, from the point of view of understanding how our landscapes adjust to climate change. It is the only one left. And once we've lost the only one left, we're dealing with essentially artificial systems. And the problem with artificial systems, of course, is that because we've meddled with them in some way, we don't actually know what the forward track might be. These are tees that are built onto very steep sand dunes, so they will have to be built up artificially by movement of sand from elsewhere in the site. Up to 8 metres vertically will have to be emplaced, and that will involve moving biblical amounts of sand from A to B. So not only do you lose the natural dynamism that this area is noted for scientifically, you will stabilise it, so you'll lose the dynamism, but also you'll be constructing a largely artificial sand dune environment.
Well, I've stabilized the dunes, and that means the dunes will be with us forever, and that's good, because dunes can be gone with the wind. I mean, dunes can move and shift, and sometimes they do, but when you stabilize them, they're with you forever. So I've stabilized them, and ultimately I think that's going to be a great factor and a great thing for Scotland and for Aberdeen.
These wilderness environments are our equivalent, if you like, of the Amazon rainforest or the swamps in South America. And many of these wilderness environments have been lost around the world. And in Britain, we've got very, very few of those left. And what's happening here is that we're losing yet another.
We've had tremendous support from the environmental groups, and so I'm very happy about that. I mean, we've had great environmental support. I've received many environmental awards over the years. I think the greatest thing I've ever done for the environment is what I'll be doing right here in Aberdeen. But when we went to our meetings, we had tremendous support from major environmentalists and environmental groups. My hair okay? It's blown all over.
So have a look in the lens.
I can't see it. Do you have a mirror? Emily, give me a mirror.
There are no environmental organisations that I know of that favour this development.
Who has a mirror?
RSPB opposed it, SEPA, the Scottish Environment Protection Agency, Scottish Natural Heritage were violently opposed to this development, and the World Wildlife Trust were against the development, the Ramblers Association were against the development. I know of no credible environmental organisation that favoured such a development on environmental grounds. This is an accolade site, a site of special scientific interest, the highest conservation accolade that this country can bestow, and yet we allow a golf course to be developed on it, which will remove the scientific interest completely. And it's something of a personal tragedy and great sadness across the scientific community.
It is alarming. Well, look what security did to me a long time ago. Came out of nowhere, stopped my car, hands on bonnet, and I got a scare. They're saying that's for the lorries, that cars and pickups and everything can still use our road. Look, have we got a gap in the trees already? Well, those trees are seemingly coming down, which they shouldn't be taking down. And Mike Forbes. And that's where their spring is, up in these trees. We'll go down Mike's Road and we'll have a look. I haven't been down Mike's this week. Oh, God. There's a lorry. I don't think there's anybody in, is there? I do worry about the water. Moira, David Milne's wife, she had a dream that she woke up one morning and we were disappeared. We were all underwater. I said, oh, she said, I looked out the window and you were gone. All I could see was water. She had a premonition. I said, oh, don't say that, Moira. Me, Mike, you are going to have problems with your water. I'm really horrified to see this bank. I mean, what is it? I think it's a road and that these trees are coming down. This is absolutely horrendous. That'll be the end of the spring.
Who are you with?
I'm a freelance.
As all the rest of the press, anyone who comes in here would have the... Do you want to turn that off or do you want to leave it on? Or?
I'll just leave it on, yeah.
Yeah? I'm sure you're well aware. We've had a lot of damage here.
I was causing damage.
No.
Yeah.
I'm only just putting you in the picture.
You know, I'm just basically overlooking from this bank. There shouldn't be any health and safety consideration, should there?
No, there isn't. But again, I would ask you to announce yourself to the site. It's the wish of the clients. Or if you wish to film on site, we've no issue with it at all. You know, there's no problem.
Sorry? I'm just freelance, yeah. Hi there.
What are you doing down here?
Just doing a bit of filming.
If you're freelance, are you filming for yourself? Are you filming
Yeah,
for
just
someone
film
else?
for myself.
There's a lot of publicity around about this area. Just
Yeah.
And a lot of this area down here is new classed as a work site.
Yeah.
So for health and safety reasons, you should really be contacting the department. This is estate land.
Right, yeah, but I thought
the access roads.
there's not a sort of right to roam, is there not, in Scotland?
There is, but not within vehicles.
But I wasn't in a vehicle, so I was standing.
But again,
Excuse me 1 second. Can you switch your camera off, please?
And of course you can't cut across the dunes now because they built this road. That's the road they built. They dozed across the natural drainage, so they're trapping water all over the place. Look at that. Yeah, it goes up and down with the tide, all this lot. Hello, how are you? It's terrific, that water.
Yeah, but they've virtually dammed us and they've put in that road.
Mike's concerned that where they're going to pump it to.
Trees suck up water, that's why the trees were planted. Now they've taken the trees away and buried them in a hole. Took them away and buried them in a hole. They dug a big hole over the back here. They took all the trees and put them in a hole and buried them. According to my neighbour, he says there was 400 trees that buried over there.
And as we go round the corner, Anthony, if you keep looking ahead, you will see our little forest here has now disappeared. I came home and my son said to me, "Oh Mum, all the trees have gone." Oh me. Marram grass being stripped into blocks, taken away in huge dumpers. And as you can see from the last time we were here, there's been vast quantity of sand taken. I just can't believe it. Be interesting to see where all this sand's coming from.
That's the sand dunes they're driving. The sand dunes are from over there, they're putting on here. I didn't think they were allowed to move them.
That should be on now, yeah, that's it. And then you just press that button there.
Yeah, the one on the right.
Yeah.
So I'm filming all this. To come here every day, you really get an idea of the destruction that's happening. Also notice there doesn't seem to be anybody coming down, checking on anything.
There's no nobody, never see her. The only person you ever see is security, keeping people away, really.
I don't know where I am. You would think we were on a beach, not in a beautiful, dynamic dune system. Is totally gone. All we can see is flattened dunes, sand everywhere.
I look at Mr. Forbes and his disgusting conditions in which he lives, and that people have to look at that. And it's about time that somebody spoke out. It's almost like, in fact, it is like a slum-like condition. For people to have to look at this virtual slum is a disgrace. Mr. Forbes is not a man that people in Scotland should be proud of. Mr. Forbes is not a respected man among the people that he lives with. I mean, people have come up to us, they've written us notes, they've written us letters that this guy is all sorts of things. And I won't say it, they're saying it. Mr. Forbes lives in a pig-like atmosphere. It's disgusting.
They are really lovely, genuine, honest, authentic people. And they're really sincere people. And yeah, absolute pleasure to be involved in a project with them.
David McHugh, he's an artist, and he got in touch with me asking if it would be okay if he did an art exhibition. And I said, yeah, if you like, yeah. So we was going to do it in a marquee tent out here, but he wasn't for that. He had to have it in that shed there. Why, I don't know, but he had to have it in that shed. The worst shed I've got, he had to have it in that.
I think we'll just stick with that for just now. And can we put all four on? About 70. I loved the band because the minute you started to change and put things in there, it kind of recontextualised the work in exactly the way I hoped it would do. Bringing back everything that I took away with it. It was great meeting Michael's wife, Sheila.
Says Steve, what the hell do you think you're doing?
And she's really feisty and has a great sense of humour, a great sense of who she is, her own kind of identity. Sheila chooses to sometimes be out of the limelight, but other times I think it's important to hear her voice too. The drawing represents, or as a metaphor for, behind every successful man there's a strong woman. I really wanted to find for myself what the truth was at what was happening at that site, like the security presence, for instance. And that is really stressful for Sheila and Michael and Molly as well. You know, that's their homes, and it would just be a vehicle that would circle their land and stop, pause, and then move off again. But it's intimidating, and I certainly felt like that the week that I was there. This one for me was very much, it's a very typical Trump stance and pose that he does very often. It's almost like a trademark, the way he gestures and his body language. I obviously referenced Warhol quite considerably with the repeat pattern of the dollar sign. That's like a brick wall. You've hit a brick wall, dead end kind of scenario. The media has been coming down to this place. It has been talking about it as a slum, which it certainly is, and to be able to sort of show off the interior of that barn, which we've always just seen the exterior of, and get a real glimpse into the history, the heritage of this space. A glimpse out of the back square that looks onto all of the other properties which are in a similar position of maybe coming under compulsory purchase. It was perfect.
20 thumbs up on the hobby.
It's in grossly bad taste, which of course is spot on. Yes.
I really wanted an interactive piece that was quite important, that they weren't just passively, you know, looking at pieces of work.
I've seen some of them in the computer, David's computer, but they don't look the same in the computer.
Once again, there's a very pleasant atmosphere. Whilst this is a very serious business, it's great to see members of the community coming together like this in support of the local residents.
My father was a salmon fisher.
What's that?
When I was born just being the beach here a bit. And then we moved to inland a wee bit, a couple of miles inland to Fintry. And then he got a job in trawling. So we moved into Aberdeen, and it was Aberdeen, I was about 14 and a half, and I had enough of that Aberdeen. And I come out here and worked with my uncle when I left school.
want to get near for the kids. But they're cheating now, they're throwing it down his throat.
The Trump paintings, the accent's very much on the red, the anger, whereas Michael's very much the cool blue and the relaxed greens that reflect the diversity of where they come from and what they mean and what their intentions are, you know. I think these intentions are very angry, very self-motivated, very self-interested. The way they display their wealth and their attitude, you know, it is very much a contrast with what goes on here. But you would expect that. I mean, he's an international figure, and Michael's a very local figure. He's very much appreciated by his local friends and people who know him.
Lots of local people here, certainly a lot more down to life, you know. I think living in the real world, you know, and it just shows you, you know, the support we have round about.
Absolute bias in favour of Trump. Absolute, and reporting his negative and destructive comments about you. It's very personal, isn't it?
I know. Flying about is the most extravagant thing, and building a property and golf development here to attract American golfers is just contrary to environmental way of life that we will have to lead.
It is a personal gift to Michael and Sheila, and it feels important for me to give something to them for all the help that they've given me. Like all my paintings, I find it very difficult to talk about while it's in its early stages, but it is going to be an image of Michael on the salmon fishing boat.
It was a Saturday, and Michael was washing the Land Rover, and he also washed Sheila's car. And then the hose went to a trickle, and he says, "Oh, well, water's surely off." So he came over and said to me, "Be canny with your water, because I think it's going off."
You see that line of trees? Well, just at this end here, well, that's where my well is. Well, it's a spring come well. As you can see, the lorry is going round there just now. They built the road on top of my spring. Well, I think my water's more important than his bloody road just now, but not to them, eh? I phoned up, they keep saying they're going to fix it. I'm still waiting. You'd think it would be a priority. Yeah. See, no water, dry.
How long has that been going on for?
That's since last Saturday. They were digging up there on the Friday, and Hewson from Bend of the Road, he had went up and complained there was no water. They said they would get it fixed right away. Well, that's a week now I've been waiting and still haven't done it. I got the police down, and they won't have nothing to do with it either. It would be different if it was the other way around, like. If it was me cut off their water, I would have been charged by now. I'm really pissed off. I'm running out of clean clothes. Where dishes is piling up. You know, you need water. I've been taking water out the burn to have a wash in the morning. It's not right.
I needed water for the hens because they drink a lot of water, my plants outside and my 2 greenhouses. So I took the barrow and call them a rouser, the watering can, and a piece of rope tied to a paint pot, and I dipped in the paint pot in the burn and filled the rouser and just rode the barrow back up again. And then Michael said, there's a wee drop coming from the hose, his hose, so you'll get some for drinking.
Dry. This is just another ploy, as I said, with Trump to piss people off, you know. It's not on. And I'm really pissed off as well that the police is all one-sided, you know. They says they're not biased, of course they are. Yeah.
You haven't been down here before?
No, never. No, it's kind of new territory. No, it's locked. Hi, I'm Anthony, filmmaker.
Oh, yeah.
This is Richard, my colleague. We're just filming with Michael Forbes this morning, and he was saying that he hasn't had any water for a week.
That's right, there was a problem with the well. Can I get your information?
Yeah, no problem. There you go.
All as you know at the moment is that he's got no water, and you're looking for an angle that maybe...
No, I'm just trying to work out the facts, basically. Not an angle. No, it's not an angle. I'm just trying to work out why, if Michael has been without water for a week...
No, rather than...
You know,
why...
why...
The two of us discuss this and get into an argument. Are you filming at the moment?
I am now, yeah. Sorry.
Do you mind not filming here?
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were explaining what was happening.
There you go. Good lad. Go down and fix his water then.
I didn't break it.
Well, there you go.
But you did.
Yeah, so you leave us to fix it.
Okay.
Anthony, my friend. So we'll have his water back on as soon as we can get it fixed.
He can't flush his toilet. He's got no water coming out the tap. He's got washing up for a week.
You keep mentioning a week. Is that just a term of phrase?
Well, he's been without it for a week, so I'm just wondering, does he have to wait another week for it?
I don't know.
So there's somebody working there now?
No, not now at the moment.
Well, why not?
Because we have to investigate it first to reinstate the man's water so it will be a durable system and sustain itself. But hey, guys, have a nice day. It's a lovely day for filming, right? Okay. Have you signed in?
There's nobody in the office.
Well, unfortunately, you won't be able to sign in today then. So you won't be able to go down on site. You suffer the consequences, obviously, if you break any laws that are in place in respect to the construction site.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to break any laws.
You're aware of that?
Yeah.
Is that an expensive camera?
What are we looking at over here then?
Quite a mess now. We seem to have inherited a new lake here. Mr. Trump, I don't know what he's doing, but he's scraped all this. Oh, here's the police now. Got a photo of them.
Next thing was the security van came sneaking around the corner there and told the police that you were over with Susie Monroe. And then they just took off up the road. And before they went away, I says to him, I says, oh, who are you going to charge now? And he says, we don't charge anybody, we are the good guys.
With all due respect, sir, would you mind turning the camera off? What's it about?
I bet you they've been on the phone about this. You were a visit there. It's absolutely sickening. It's absolutely sickening. This is what it'll have been about. Tell you, I hope they get on to the environmental health today, because having no water for a week and no toilets, no facilities is an absolute disgrace. They've removed all the topsoil off the ground. I mean, this is almost like a floodplain, as you can see, with the bulrushes and everything. It's just marsh ground. And of course, common sense would tell you that the water, you know, flows down to the sea.
Yeah.
Common sense would tell anybody that. So that's going to have to be rectified. But as I say, I think environmental health's the next port of call for them. But we'll just have to wait and see what transpires today.
Who's in charge between the two of you gentlemen?
We're just here as individuals. What are you here for?
That's no problem. Could I take a note of your name, please?
Why?
Because there's been an alleged breach of the peace up at the Nenny Estate this morning, and as such, we are making inquiry. So, could I have your name, please?
My name is Richard Finney.
Okay, and yourself, sir, could I have your name, please?
Yeah, I'm Anthony Banks.
And then he just became more hostile and lunged at you, gave you no explanation.
What you need to do is, what we need to do now
You do know.
You've been detained under Section 14 of Criminal Procedure Scotland Act 1995. Do not...
What's he done?
Grab that. Just get that. Richard, grab the camera.
Let go of the camera. Let go of the camera before it gets damaged, sir.
And then the next thing I know, you're wrestling over the bonnet of Finlay's van, this policeman attacking you, trying to pull the camera off you, still not giving you any reason why, what you've done. I think it was totally out of order.
Do that to me!
Right, sir.
Then slammed the handcuffs on, and I saw your wrist was grazed and everything, and that was totally out of order. That's disgraceful.
You loosen those cuffs, please. Will you loosen those cuffs, please? They're hurting.
This is a very sad state of affairs.
Sir, if you stop shouting.
Look, will you stop doing that to me?
It's 8:30 in the evening. I just got back to my car after being in the police cells for 4 hours. We also had our camera confiscated and our footage confiscated by the police.
I think it was Susan that said, you know, and I was quite upset about it. I thought, oh gosh, a nice lad like Anthony being taken into jail? God, I couldn't sleep about it, you know. I thought, God, what like is that Trump people? They're horrors.
Aye, 2 men charged over filming at Trump. I'm sick of seeing this. Golf will put Northeast on tourism map. I don't know what he's wanting to hide here, but this keeping people away off this huge swathe of land's not right. And then there's that hostile attack on Anthony for no reason. The police wouldn't give any reason. The mess he's making. Oh, there's something. I mean, I've never seen anything like this anywhere.
Does it feel to you that the police are somehow working on behalf of Trump?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Michael called them to the water. And they just couldn't care less.
It's against the law to cut off anybody's water. And if they had damaged it, they supposed it was an accident, they should have been supplying them with water. There and then, you know? Oh, aye.
On his hit show, The Apprentice, Donald Trump's word trumps all. And it appears that power extends to his business venture in Scotland, at least for now. Recently, 2 British journalists found themselves arrested at the site of Mr. Trump's golf resort near Aberdeen, which is currently under
detained under Section 14 of Criminal Procedure.
That's quite incredible. That's bullying, harassment. It really is shocking. It's an assault on journalists trying to do their job. It's completely out of order. Well, certainly people from around the world have been taken aback that this type of thing could happen, where journalists are actually arrested, violently arrested, handcuffed, taken to the cells, having been fingerprinted, DNA tests, having their equipment taken off them, kept in the cells. No, I've never seen it like this. I know people have been done for contempt of court, covering court cases and refusing to expose their sources. But this was just an interference in journalists trying to film what really is a public interest story.
To me, they seem to just get away with anything they want. I mean, they cut off the water, but what will they try next? Cut off the electric? They'll knock down a pole or something, you know? Oh, aye.
Very hard. Now, this is the guy, this is the classic story. Donald Trump, big American, comes, wants to buy up his ranch or his farm, and he says, nope. So is he going to sell it? Isn't he going to sell it?
I don't know. I don't need it. It's not in the way of what I'm doing. It's on the outskirts of what I'm doing. And if I buy it, that'll be fine. Right. But nothing I need.
So they're using me as an excuse not to build a hotel. They're saying, oh, it's an eyesore, a pigsty, or whatever they want to call it, you know. But it's a working place, you know. There's going to be stuff lying about. I don't throw nothing out because you never know when it's going to be handy. And I'm bloody sure no other farmer would throw anything out either.
Anti-Trump campaigners are warning the Donald Trump organisation to back off. One householder refusing to sell land to the billionaire tycoon for his golf resort claims diggers have rolled in regardless and started to remove his property. Donald Trump branded Michael Forbes' farm a slum and demanded it was cleaned up.
Oh, well, I was sitting in here, I was on my computer, I was looking for parts for my tractors. And Mickey Foot phoned in the afternoon and says, do you know there's diggers on your land? So I had a look out and I saw the diggers working away. So I do have to tell my mother what was going on, just in case she got excited.
I was disgusted and felt ill about it. I mean, all that happening on Michael's land. That they were wanted to buy.
I took my title deed with me. And I says, you better just put everything back where you got it. And there was two policemen there, so I went over and I shouts, I says, who's the boss here?
They didn't do anything about it. They were guarding them, pulling out the poles and putting up fences.
And I tried to show them on the title deeds what was mine, and they weren't interested. They says, we are just down here to make sure there's no damage caused, and bloody damage, they were ripping up my place. This is the one I used to use with my father. I see they've busted it all. And that was the police that was supposed to be watching it. There was no damage done. It looks really respectful. They busted it all. The spies surely phoned the security. Here they come now. We've got a road made now. That's my land. Not now. That belongs to them now. No, I've seen enough of this. This here is the original mini salmon fishing plans, and it shows you here in black and white that this is the land here for many salmon fishers. But they are saying in the papers today that their plan supersedes my plan. This here is Trump's plan of the same area as here, and with this corner cut off.
Andy Whiteman.
Mick Forbes.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. What bizarre goings on. I'm glad you can laugh about it sometimes. Well, you have to.
Aye, oh aye.
You have to, you know. If you have a dispute with your neighbour about whose land is whose, you seek to resolve it amicably, and ultimately you would go to the courts. You don't grab it. You know, you don't nakedly grab it. I mean, that's what they did in the past. You know, if everyone was to do that, it would be a state of strife across the country. I mean, the other thing is that maps at that time were not as accurate as maps are today.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, I thought, well, maybe Trump's arguing about a few metres here and all the rest of it. But that's the fact there is a map, the fact that it's coloured, that the boundaries are shown clearly, I mean, a lot of land's sold with no maps.
Yeah.
The police are correct in that where your boundary is not a matter for the police.
Yeah.
It's not
They
a
shouldn't
criminal
even-
matter. It's
they
a
shouldn't
civil
have been
event. They shouldn't even have been here. And the fact that Trump has got a dispute here, thinks he owns this land, so that's a civil matter.
Before all this happened, there was they put on a line of flags, little red flags, little pieces of wire, and they put them in here. I removed them all, and I was charged with theft. There was all these little bloody red flags all over the place, and they were a danger because my grandsons, they play Ben there, and they were sharp wires.
27 I pulled out of my land. 27 of these bloody things.
Is that charge still?
The prosecutor physical sent a letterbox in, they've dropped it, but if I do anything like that again, I will be severely dealt with. So I'm guilty, you know? I'm guilty, and I would have preferred if it went to court.
I mean, to me, that suggests, you know, double standards and very, very political policing.
Have you ever come across a case like this?
No, no, no. This is unprecedented.
That's a bit stupid, isn't it? They've left an access there, look. Where's it go? Nowhere.
How can he say that's better than nature? Boy, the man lives in cuckoo land. Huh?
That flag stands for freedom and for a country that you are passionate about, presumably.
Used to be. I used to be. Till Salmon gave him the right to destroy the bloody links. I voted for SNP for 35 years. I'll never ever vote for him again. Never. They've done this country wrong. They're giving it away to the Americans. Huh?
American tycoon Donald Trump has jetted into Aberdeen ahead of receiving an honorary degree from the city's Robert Gordon University.
This afternoon, the Tripping Up Trump campaign handed in a 6,500 signature petition against the university's decision.
It's really quite sad to see what he's doing. I thought it was going to be done with a little tweak here and there, but it's not. It's just been flattened, especially the bit beside us, and he's just moving south. Awful that our country have let him take our SSI and that. And I'm sure he's having a quick smile to himself, you know. They swarm round here like flies whenever he's here. And I mean, it's just a joke. I also think it's just so false, you know. All these people arriving suited and booted and yes, Mr. Trump, no, Mr. Trump. What has he done here to deserve this? But destroy a site of special scientific interest and a beautiful dune system.
Sarah? Can you head back off, please? Could you just head back off? Turn the camera.
Mr. Trump, I was wondering whether I could ask you a couple of questions.
The people love what we're doing. They love that I'm spending hundreds of millions of pounds on doing it. They love the fact that I'm creating a lot of jobs.
Mr. Trump doesn't appreciate just how much the system moves. Because none of these things will ever come back because the conditions will be totally changed. All these damn chemicals on the greens and... Oh, me. You just wonder where it's going to end with this. The last time he was here, he made quite a rather sour comment about myself and Finlay and the dog, you know, demonstrators. And I thought, I'm not a demonstrator. I said, I live here.
This one was from the students. I mean, any gift from the students I always valued, because I thought that was what my work was about. From the moment I decided that I was going to hand my honorary degree back, my thoughts were all about how I could get the maximum publicity, because I knew that simply handing it back in a private manner, it would simply be put away, and that would be the end of it.
How difficult is it for you to return this degree?
It's not difficult at all. I'm going to march in that door and ask whether the principal is available. If he isn't, it will be given into the desk, and that will be it. Because somebody's got to stand up to these people and make sure that the world knows there are people who don't approve of this. I don't approve of bullying. I don't approve of bullying to the people on the Many estate. That is my degree, honorary degree certificate. Not wanted. Not wanted.
For someone in such a significant and serious position to take what is very obviously a very personal and determined stance is a very positive thing for us. And we are here in pure support of Dr. Kennedy and his position.
Donald Trump has said he thinks you cannot be too greedy. He believes that you should be brutal and powerful. He believes that sacking people is not a bad thing. He boasts of the number of people he's sacked. These are not the sort of qualities I would expect of a man who was to receive an honorary degree.
He feels very strongly, and I think under those circumstances it isn't a difficult decision to make.
David, what happened inside?
Well, Professor Harper wasn't available, and so I saw one of the vice principals. But of course, she's following the party line that Mr. Trump is a very successful entrepreneur, he's a billionaire, and of course that tells you everything.
You're making a mockery of the system, the words of Dr. David Kennedy, who's handed back his honorary degree to Robert Gordon University, and he has this message for the tycoon.
Don't trample on your neighbours, don't destroy the environment of Aberdeen. This is part of the jewels of Scotland that are being destroyed. My view is take your money elsewhere, we don't want it.
It's a positive paper, but it's letting people know the truth, because we feel that people just don't know the realities of this development, and if they did know, they'd think twice. There's some people in Aberdeen that really want this development to go ahead, powerful people, and they're not letting the word out on what's going on.
But have you been out at Many House?
Yeah, a lot.
And have you seen some of the ramshackle dumps that are around there?
You're referring to Michael Forbes'...
I'm not referring to any specific, right. I'm talking in general terms. Have you seen it?
I've been to many, yes.
Here's the point. You take in wealthy people from all over the world flying in their plane there, and they're looking at houses that are in bad condition with ramshackle tractors and all farm implements lying over there. Do you think that does any good to the vision of Scotland throughout the world?
American billionaire Donald Trump defied his critics to pick up an honorary degree from Aberdeen's Robert Gordon University. He's pledged to build the world's greatest golf course on the Many estate in Aberdeenshire.
Today, Aberdeen's Robert Gordon University recognised US tycoon Donald Trump's ability to make money. Now a doctor of business administration.
A nice casual shot against the railing would be quite nice. Lovely. Stay here. Can we get your fired again, Mr. Trump? Thank you very much. Hello, everybody.
Is the course on schedule?
Yeah, the course is in perfect schedule. In fact, if anything, it's ahead of schedule. And I am very happy to report that everything we've done, I think it's even coming out better than we had anticipated in our wildest dreams. It's going to be really spectacular. There doesn't seem to be people against the job. The only one I see is this gentleman right here, who I've never seen before until yesterday when he started screaming. Question? Real journalists. I want real journalists.
Mr. Trump, I wonder what you would say to Dr. David Kennedy. He handed back his degree last week and said that Your Honour was an insult to decent people everywhere, and also accused you of bullying people on the many estates. And I mean, I myself have been arrested, handcuffed and put in a prison cell for 4 hours whilst interviewing your representative, Mr. Paul O'Connor, on the site. I just wondered whether you felt that was the right way to treat people and whether, in fact, you had anything to hide.
I never heard of Mr. Kennedy. I don't know who he is, so I can't really refer. I mean, you're asking me about a person that I've never heard of.
Dr. David Kennedy, the former principal of...
I've never heard of him, I'm sorry. This is a very popular job. It's only questions like you ask that, you know, cause trouble. Any other questions?
Yes, Mr. Trump, I just wondered if you could tell us how many local people are employed on the site at the moment.
A lot. We have a lot of local people employed.
Can you give us
and
a
we're
number?
just beginning. I don't have numbers. We're just beginning, but a lot of people, and there will be more and more. We've had hundreds of people doing the Marin. Now we're ready to start the Marin Gress again. That's a very big project. But we've got a lot of local people employed on the site.
But it is an Irish contractor.
So I'm going to go and phone the police shortly and let them know. Take it from there. I've also spoken to the lawyer. I'm phoning in connection with an incident number you already have on your books, incident 56 of the 18th of October, in other words, yesterday. Well, it was regarding we expected certain persons to come onto our land yesterday and cut down and remove a fence. That didn't happen, however, they have come on today and cut down and removed that fence. This is the letter that we received. They're saying that I have a fence and part of a shed or other building erected on land belonging to them. They're saying that they now intend to remove the fence. You'll notice I'm not given the option to remove it myself, and that they may, if they choose, put the fence back up on their drawing. As far as the shed goes, they're giving me 72 hours, or they're going to raise an action in the Sheriff Court to have it removed. If you take the double garage, it's sitting here, okay? I have a stick shed sits here. There's an old brick shed from the Coast Guard days sits there. And the house actually sits in about here. Out here, there is a pole for the overhead electricity line. They are claiming at the moment that this boundary actually runs something like that. And here they're trying to take the back wall off my garage.
We've been very nice. We've tried to be very nice. We actually just learned that one of them may have built their house on our land. We learned that last night when we were doing a survey. One of the people actually have a big chunk of their house on our land, so we're having that checked out.
Who is that, Mr. Trump?
You'll find out.
I've come home today, I see the fence is missing. That's a police car that was in here this morning, which makes it 8, 9, 10 o'clock this morning or thereby. So it'll be interesting to see what time the fence actually came down. They hit the power line yesterday. 240 volt supply to my house.
Mr. Trump's workman severed the line with the digger and popped the line, and of course everything shorted and it cut everybody off.
It's working away quite the thing. There you go. Power went out. Not only is it, in my opinion, criminal damage or vandalism, but now they've also committed theft by removing it from my land. Which, if you care to remember, is precisely what they charged Michael Forbes with when he removed marker poles from the site. The fence that they put up without my permission. The attached invoice is now due. Please arrange payment for half of this invoice, £2,820, to be made payable to Trump International Golf Links, Scotland.
I got out of my bed this morning, the whole house shaking, things falling off Finlay's shelf. But this is getting bigger by the day. It's just incredibly high now.
Did you ask the builders what they were doing with this?
Finlay did.
What did they say?
It's Mr. Trump's instructions.
Mr. Trump's instructions?
Yeah.
To put all this earth
Yeah,
here?
yeah, to block our view, to harass us, obviously. There's no bank on the plans, anything like that. Oh, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what it's for. I don't even know what the mound of mold's for. It's harassment for David Mell up here. They're pushing the mold off the field to block off his view or whatever. Why did they do it there? There's a whole field that they could have put the mold in.
It's rather meaningless. It took them maybe a week, 10 days to actually construct. So there's quite a lot of work involved, there's a lot of time involved, there's a lot of effort involved for no real purpose.
Get it done and don't spend a lot.
It's all on Donald J. Trump's fabulous world of golf.
Sarah, I want to get rid of that house.
It's going to create a bit of a stir, but if we're
Who cares? Who cares? You know what? Who cares? It's our property. We can do what we want. We're trying to build the greatest course in the world. This house is ugly. There are some houses quite far away from the course, but nevertheless, they are in view. But we are berming some of the areas so that you don't see the houses. I don't want to see the houses. And nobody has a problem with it. I guess maybe the people that live in the houses have.
There's a great big pond here. Now, the more muck they're scraping, the water's all bubbling up. Well, I was just waiting for that.
Water?
Yeah, water table, they fit it. Well, it's supposed to be a putting green. Well, I could cope. Well, I suppose you'd have to cope with a putting green. Not that I'd like balls flying in my garden, but you've come today. We're making a car park. No, you're not. It's not on your plans. That big mound in front of us, that shouldn't have been done. Not on the plans. Because they're just the dunes there, Kemp, the bit we used to walk over onto the beach. I took photos on Anthony's camera. I mean, we got a shock. We just stood and looked round. Totally flat, sand everywhere, everything gone. I'm just trying not to get you guys in. I'm just trying to get, it's okay. I'm just trying to swing around and just get the vastness of what he's done.
That sand it's lying down here. I mean, they're driving it from away along at the sand dunes in Balmedy. I didn't think they'd be allowed to move the sand along to here. They just seem to please themselves. They don't follow the plans. No.
I'm imagining now how beautiful it must be, these dunes on the beautiful coast of Scotland, the west coast of Scotland?
Well, yes, more or less.
Yeah. And what do you mean more or less? Did you do the, I mean,
It's such
one.
a big area, so it covers a lot of territory. Everywhere I go,
so
I love to
there.
build. It is
Yeah.
beautiful, but I'll make it more beautiful. Actually, when I finish, it will be far more beautiful.
Really?
Yep, that's right.
I'm not fond of Donald Trump, and I wouldn't want to come all this way to go play a new course, nor one of his facility courses, so I'm not sure that it's going to be a very successful operation.
You know, he's pretty gaudy. I mean, that he is the way he does things, you know. He's a New Yorker. And so I'm sure it'll be a spectacular course. I'm not sure if it'll fit in with, you know, the tradition, so.
He says it's going to be the best in the world.
Well, Donald would say that, wouldn't he? You know.
Trump will price it most likely outside of my range.
Of course, there will be some local workers. The question is, what proportion of workers will be local? And there, I think that the estimates that are made in the economic impact study are wildly optimistic. I mean, if I were Irish, I'd be delighted if Irish workers were being employed. If I were Polish, I'm delighted that Polish workers are being employed, but they're not going to be creating jobs in the local economy. And indeed, migrant workers tend to remit a lot of their wages back to where they come from, so they won't even be spending within the local economy. If a British developer came along saying that they wanted to build 500 houses and 450-bed hotel on an area of wild beauty, remote from any large city, which was going to destroy what is the most highly protected type of site we have, a site of special scientific interest, which was, by all accounts, a unique type of site, they would be laughed out of court. Think of Mr. Trump as a poker player, and he's got a hand, but he's also bluffing the local authorities and the Scottish Government to give him planning permission. That planning permission is immensely, immensely valuable. Thousands of millions of pounds, probably, just to get the planning permission. So his job is to persuade people that there's huge economic benefits. That's his job, but we should be critically cautious in accepting numbers which come from the Trump camp.
And from what you've seen of those numbers, do you think there has been enough caution?
No, I don't think there's been enough caution in critically interpreting those numbers. It's not surprising that sort of city fathers might be deceived by a glamorous international superstar like Donald Trump. I do find it more surprising that the Scottish Government, which I thought was quite canny, has fallen for it in the way they have.
This is the pond where all the ducks were. I don't know what they've done, but they've now, as you can see, got this fenced off with this orange netting.
Horrifying, of course, to see the sand just piled up like that willy-nilly. This was a pristine and fantastic dune system, and now parts of it are in the process of being wrecked, and that's very sad. And as things stand at the moment, much of the rest of it's going to be wrecked as well.
Yeah, oh, fine. Huh? Yeah. That's good. That's great.
My name's Michael. I'm just up in Glasgow today. Just to offer you some support.
Excellent.
So,
thank you.
Good luck.
Hi, how are you doing?
Fine day for it, so a bit of support.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see that there's so many young people here supporting justice, and I'm at one with them. I agree completely, and I find it very, very, very pleasing to see so many people turning out today in order to support the people who are being victimized by Donald Trump and his profit-making ways.
Very proud, yeah. It gives you a boost. It really gives you a boost. You know, when you're down in the mouth about what's going on here, and then you get all these people that's supporting you, it's really good, yeah. I'm really proud.
What kind of things have they been saying?
Oh, just keep up the fight. It's always the same every time. They keep up the fight, and I'm doing my best. Yeah.
Up to the church hall to have a cup of tea.
As I was walking across the mountain grass, I saw a notice. It said no trespass. On the other side, I rode up Trump's ass. Not his leg. This land is your land. This land ain't your land. From Caledonia to the Channel Islands. From Providence to the Gulf Stream waters, this land is mine. This land ain't your bitch. You can't hire it. No secret
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Yes, I'd like to use the telephone. Is there one in the hotel?
There's a phone box just across the road at the jetty.
You'll need some change.
You can talk to anywhere in the world from there.
Could you change this for me, please? 10's the lot.
Well, no, I don't think we'll manage that. Hey, you got any tens, lads? The gentleman here would like to make a very important long-distance phone call. Intercontinental. Hey, come on, give me your tens.
Oh, hello there. Yes, I was wondering if I could speak to Donald Trump, please. I'm calling from Scotland, just recording this call. My name's Anthony Baxter.
Okay, but what was it regarding?
Yes, I'm making a documentary about the Trump golf course development north of Aberdeen and just wondered whether I could speak to him about it.
I can give you the email address.
Yeah, I did email Rona a few times actually last year. I did.
Do you have the correct email address?
I think so, because she returned the email saying that he was too busy to do an interview at the time, so I just thought I'd touch base. Right, I did do that, and then I didn't hear anything back. I mean, I don't mind waiting for her meeting to finish, it's just that I've only got so many 50p's here. And I can't just speak to Mr. Trump's PA.
Hold on a moment.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, sir, I'm sorry, but that's the only possibility is to email Rona. I'm sorry, I have to take other calls.
have to say they're all excellent pictures. They really are very good, and I love the idea of basing them on well-known works of art.
They were quite tired by the time I did get them all together. And I was as tired as well.
I think I like Michael and Sheila best. It's very close to the painting on which it's based. And I'm also wondering what Michael's contemplating doing with that form.
You were Steve McQueen, and we rode your silver grifter half the way from Aberdeen. And the waves fall, how they fall. And I kept a lookout in the marram grass. U-boats on the skyline, commandos at the pass. And the waves fall, how they fall. And the tide still ebbs and flows where the Eithin meets the ocean. Not even God himself could stop the northerlies from blowing. You can tear these dunes asunder, pound this wonder into dust with your cruel hands and crooked hearts, laden with lost and expensive lives. But the har will stumble in to cover your eyes. The har will stumble